Hi guys, welcome back, and today we are going to be discussing the Q4 result update of four companies: AGI, Greenpac, KEI Industries, Britannia and Dabur, and then we have Go Colors. Okay, so first we are going to talk about AGI and AGI Greenpac Limited. So as you all know, the company makes glass bottles mainly for alcohol beverages, right? I think majority of the revenue that is there comes from the alcoholic, making these glass bottles for alcohol beverages, around 70%, right? Now if you see over the last quarters, like if you go back and look, the company used to do around 18% growth, and that is what the management also strived for, right? And one of the few reasons I would say this stock probably was in highlight was because of the acquisition. So this company was about to acquire this Hindustan National Glass, and when this news had come out, I would say probably the beginning of the year. I'm not sure about the timeline. I believe in FY23 these people were making around 2,000 crore odds of revenue, and they told that they're targeting around 5,000 crores by FY25 because of this HNG acquisition. But this HNG acquisition didn't happen as planned. The case went into the NCLT, then Supreme Court, and the company is having issues getting the dates in the Supreme Court and everything, because of which everything has been delayed. Not only that, if you see the last quarter, the company had repeatedly told, like the management ने एक interview किया था with one of the leading news TV channels, where they told that this 5,000 crores that is there, that they had the target to achieve by FY25, that will take it will take a longer time. It won't happen by FY25, of course, because of this HNG issue. Then they also told कि 18% जो guidance था, from there they want, they're targeting right now around 13 to 14% का guidance, right? And they also told कि fluctuations in demand में they no longer see that very strong demand as it used to be, right? So now if you go back, I would say, after looking at the 13 to 14% का guidance, I expected also them to be in that range, but to the dismay, the revenue has degrown on a year-on-year basis, if you say, by 9%, and the PAT जो है, that has degrown by 40% on a year-on-year basis. So it is not really a great set of result. Even if you look at quarter-on-quarter also, Q3 versus Q4, if you look, even then also the revenue has been very flat. Even in terms of EPS also has degrown from 14 to 9, right? So overall, if you look at the result, it's not great. Yeah, of course, I expected, I would say, result to be, it was no surprise the result wouldn't be that great. But at this rate, I think somebody who is in this company, they would have expected the revenue to go from probably 18% to 10% at least. The fall in revenue growth, but the degrowth in revenue is a shocker. Even if you look at the ROE of the company, right? ROE of the company has also dropped by 13 from 16 to 13%. Now, of course, right, ROE there are three main components. One is the financial leverage you get. The other two are, but here you won't have any financial leverage also, because the company has paid almost all of its debt. Then you have your volume and value growth, which is coming from margins and asset turnover, right? Here the company has also told this quarter they've had very low realizations due to fall in raw material prices. So there aapka margins margins are gone, and here of course volume growth must not have been there. So overall, all three of the reasons you can see, or the three parameters that are there to help you improve your ROE, that is also not there, right? And the other reason is also that your profit has been gone down, right? So combine both of it, it's really not a great set of numbers. अगर आप डाबर के बारे में बात करते हो, what is there, ultimately it's a very large company. It is a very good, both Dabur and Britannia, I would say, a large company where it is a good dividend engine. But at least in terms of Dabur, there is a 5% का volume growth, and you can see that at least they're doing something here, क्योंकि अभी rural economy थोड़ा सा improve हो रहा है, right? Overall, I do not want to waste your time or my time talking about this. I only track Britannia, again, no growth, no sales. The only reason I'll tell you I track Britannia is because I track Bector very religiously. So if you have to understand Bector, what is happening in Bector, you have to read Britannia, right? I always tell this, if you have to read any company, especially if it is a small cap company, just look in that space which is a large cap company. Like for example, in the FMCG space here, Bector is a small company and Britannia is a large company. You do not have to read XYZ reports, any fund houses ka reports or anything. Just read the con call. You will get to understand what is the landscape in that sector. Kya ho raha hai, what is that, and if there is any problem that will be that is there, the large cap will highlight it first before any small cap here. Okay, and here of course with Britannia, the problem they have told high prices, the prices of raw materials are increasing, demand nahi hai. But also you understand that Britannia, at the base that it is such a huge base, it is very difficult to even grow at 5%. So again, not justifying the no growth revenue, but overall, having said that, see, ultimately, what do you expect from such a large cap company, right? The only thing is if earlier, if you see, Britannia was, I think I would see the last last year or the few quarters ago, Britannia was growing, at least there was one quarter I think it grew at 20%, right? And Vector at the same time. If a large cap company in this space only can grow at 20%, जो small cap है और जो अभी भी एक इतना छोटू सा company है where it can go and do the distribution and scalability, that can grow twice the rate now, and that is why you saw the Vector growing at 40%. Now that the large cap is also having trouble to grow, you saw that over the last 2 quarters Vector का growth has also been little bit tapered down. जो 30% का growth engine था, over the last 2 quarters we've seen it went to 20% and then a 17% growth engine. Now that Britannia has no sales at all, it would be very interesting to see like how Vector does, because Vector at least has the scalability option, right? Because there is still small distribution can increase and everything. So we'll have to see how Vector has been doing. The last one, not last one, the other company that will be doing is KEI Industries. KEI Industries. So all these companies that are there, KEI, Polycab, RR Cables and Havels, all of these companies fall under one category where they sell this wire and cables, and also few companies sell this electrical appliances, right? Now here if you look at it, we've seen over the last quarters, like at least this year, it had been the year, at least till the first half, till H1, we had seen that it had been the year of wire and cables, right? Like all the wire and cables were posting brilliant set of numbers and everything. And then I think between Q2 and Q3 there was this news that came about Polycab, where there was this IT raid and all of those things that happened, where but the news wasn't confirmed if IT raid, if they found some unaccounted sale or not, but the names of the plants were given and everything. And this entire scenario actually like ruined, I would say, I wouldn't use the word ruin, but it caused this negative sentiment in the wire and cable space, right? Overall we witnessed that. But having said that, agar aap dekhte ho, all of these companies, if you see, especially Polycab also, if I have to note down in this space, the companies used to grow at 35-40%, right? And then you saw the pace of growth had come down to 17 to 20%, which was not great. But here I would say KEI is the only company, agar aap dekhte ho, if I had to rank all the companies also, it would be Polycab, KEI, RR Cables and Havels, like according to the pace of growth, like the top line ka sales agar मैं compare करती हूँ from best to the worst, ठीक है? KEI was always the company that guided for 15 to 16% of growth, in that range only, like double teens ka growth, right? And they've always done that, maintained that guidance and done. Even this quarter also they've done the same thing. If you see the revenue that is there, it has grown around 17%, or sorry 18.7% on a year-on-year basis. जो PAT has grown by 22%. अगर आप QOQ के बारे में अगर आप changes भी देखते हो, it has grown by 12.7% on a QOQ basis, जो top line है, and PAT भी उतना ही rate से. So a decent amount of operating leverage आपको मिलता है. Here operating leverage अगर आप companies like Polycab and KEI के बारे में बात करते हो, it is very much dependent also on the commodity prices, right? As the commodity prices fluctuate, even their margins can contract and expand also. Both of it can happen, right? And here one thing to observe is that this company KEI doesn't have a huge operating leverage as that of Polycab. But overall, I would say still a great set of numbers, because I would say this was the one company probably punished in that whole thing for no fault of its, because Polycab में एक issue हुआ था, then all of the companies, like उनका पूरा sentiment ही खराब हो गया था, right? But overall, the company has been doing well, I would say. जो बोला है 15 to 17% वही growth करके it has been showing. The only problem here it comes, I would say, right now, if you look, अगर ये 15 to 16, like if see this year they have done around 18% का growth. So I'm pretty sure the volume growth also will be in the same range. You'll have to find it from ConCall, right? Now if you take the 1 year का forward P, which I usually do, right? I only take a year का forward P, right? अभी 20% का PAT growth है. So I think FY24 का पूरा साल का PAT था, it was around 581 या 587 crore. उसमें आप 20% का आप growth ले लो, it comes up to, in the best case scenario, 20% ले लो, worst case scenario 20%, best case scenario, let's say the commodity prices season and everything, and आपको 30% का best case scenario. So you will find the, like उसमें 20% अगर लोगे and you take 1 year forward P, you divide it by the market cap, your forward P comes up to 45 to 50, in that range it comes up to. So the question is like, would you be willing to pay for a 15 to 20% का growth engine of 45 to 50 PE right now, right? I also believe going forward इसका already market cap का भी expansion हुआ, it is at 35,000 crores, and even PE का भी expansion हुआ है. Going forward, the rate at which the PE re-rating happened over the last few quarters, it will be very difficult to have that PE re-rating right now. I think going forward, one thing you can observe is APS का growth होगा, but PE re-rating होने में थोड़ा difficulty होगा probably with this wire and cable companies, right? So that is that. एक और चीज़ है उनका, like अगर आप बात करते हो, they have like around 45, like उनका, there are two kinds of sales they do. One is the dealers and distributions, and the other one is the institution sales. जो उनका dealers and distributions का sales है, that has increased, I would say, around 22% का growth है, and dealers and distribution distributions right now contribute around 45% to the total sales. So that is a good sign overall, I would say. Overall, for me, if I had to put it out, it was a good, decent set of result from KEI. Okay. The last one, if I have to talk about, is Go Colors. Go Colors के बारे में what is there to talk? I mean, ultimately, see, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट इज़ इन द अपैरल स्पेस, और आपको अपैरल स्पेस पे मालूम है द एंटायर ईयर दिस ईयर वीव सीन जो कोई भी अपैरल स्पेस हो, आई थिंक द एक्सेप्शन हैज़ बिन ओनली ट्रेंड एंड V2. इसके अलावा जो कोई भी अपैरल स्पेस उनका डिमांड में बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम था. पहले तो रॉ मटेरियल का इन्फ्लेशन था, टॉप इट ऑफ विद नोबडी वॉज गोइंग टू दी स्टोर्स एंड बाइंग इट. फॉर अ कंपनी लाइक गो कलर्स क्या होते हैं, ऑन टॉप ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स दिस पीपल हैड अ वेरी नीश सेगमेंट, राइट. दिस पीपल आर सेलिंग दिस वुमेन्स बॉटम वेयर, दैट इज leggings and everything. Only these leggings and pants they are selling. So they are in the apparel space also, they are a very niche segment here, right? And these people at the starting of the year they targeted, like I'm talking about FY23-24 जब ये start हुआ था Q1 में, they had targeted a 10% का growth, like 10% in SSG, like that is what they wanted to maintain, and volume and value growth of 5%. But over the next quarters we saw कि like SSG negative भी हुआ था एक समय पे, volume का भी degrowth हुआ था in one of the quarters, and also the situation was very bad. Demand का बोलो ही मत, demand का problem was too terrible for these companies, right? But overall you seeing Q3 में उनको SSG जो था it became from negative to 0 at least, and अभी जो है 0 पे ही अटका हुआ है. So one thing उनका जो target था in the beginning of the year to reach an SSG of 10% or maintain it, that has not happened that has not happened this time also, like SSG is 0%. ठीक है. अगर आप revenue का बात करते हो, you will see that the revenue has grown by 15%, पर PAT जो है 12% से degrow, PAT has fallen by PAT is down by 12% on a year on year basis. Now here एक और चीज़ मैं बात करना चाहती हूँ, अगर आप देख सकते हो ये यहाँ पे जो कोई भी आपका ग्रोथ आ रही है, या 12% हो, 15%, 10%, ये आ रहा है बिकॉज दिस पीपल आर पुटिंग अप स्टोर्स एट अ वेरी रैपिड पेस, राइट. यू विल सी दैट गो कलर्स एम्स टू एड अराउंड 120 to 130 stores every year. इस पूरे साल में they added around 84 stores. Actually they added 107, but since they closed down I think around 23 to 25 stores, so the total count comes up to 84 stores. So the minute these people stop adding these stores, right, इनका ये सिंगल डिजिट या डबल डिजिट का ग्रोथ है ना, वो भी नहीं आएगा गोइंग फॉरवर्ड. सो जो भी लाइक क्या होता है, एक स्टोर डालते हैं वहाँ पे एक whenever a store is opened in a new locality there is this buzz over there, so people go, but immediately after a few quarters what happens, वहाँ पे जो same store sales growth है वो 0 पे आ जाता है. So this is a problem. So this is a problem with this Go Colors का है, जो भी like I mean their entire model is dependent on store expansion, and the minute the store expansion stops ना, यहाँ पे कुछ growth ही नहीं रहता है, like that is another problem. So again I wouldn't know what is the volume and value growth, क्योंकि यहाँ पे volume and value growth ये लोग investor PPT में नहीं देते हैं. We'll have to find it through the con call, but I would say considering the PAT has been this and SSG has been 0, I would reckon there hasn't been much volume and value growth also. Even if it is there, it has been probably in a single digit range, right? So again very very tough. और एक चीज़ बोलती हूँ कि like यहाँ पे this company is already trading at a 70 times PE, right? So अगर आप why would I pay like 70 times earnings for some company that is growing at 15%, right? और वहाँ पे PAT भी नहीं, it is not like a decent growth, like decent compounding agent भी आप नहीं बोल सकते उसका, right? I would say instead of this better is at least some companies like Dapper, जिस पे at least इतना large base पे वो एक 5% volume growth कर रहा है, that is only a big thing. Whereas companies like this, it is such a small company and they find it very tough to have a volume growth here, right? So I would say that. So that's it for today. We covered, I would say, AGI, Greenpac, KEI, Dabur, Britannia, and Go Colors. In the next video, I will cover K-Salts and Anup Engineering. I think K-Salts का result आया कल and Anup Engineering का result आया है आज. So these two companies I'll cover in the next video. And that's it for today. Bye.